What is going on, girls, guys, and all of their forms of life? My name is whatever you want to call me, and welcome back to Dead by Daylight. Now, in today's video, we're going to talk about why I think the worst item in the game is the worst item in the game. And of course, we're going to be talking about the broken key. Just kidding. We're going to be talking about the mechanics toolbox. We have a couple of things we're going to go over. We're going to go over history, which is the previous state. We're going to do a little math, which is charges per blood points. We're going to do a comparison between this and another item, and then we're going to do a conclusion, which is why I will state the mechanics toolbox is my least favorite via the worst item in the game. Now, in the past, the mechanics toolbox used to have 80 charges, and it considerably increased the repair speed as it does now. And it also unlocked the sabotage, but the sabotage was moderately decreased. Sure, they changed that, and it slightly decreases now, but that doesn't really matter because they changed the hook breaking mechanics altogether. Now, we're gonna go and we're gonna do a little math. In the blood web, the mechanics toolbox is worth 5,000 blood points, and it's 16 charges worth of toolbox usage. So, we're gonna pull up a calculator, and we are going to divide 16 charges by 5,000 blood points. And that gives us 3.2, which means that there's 3.2 charges per each 1,000 blood points. Which doesn't really all add up. I do not believe it's worth it. We're gonna move on to the comparison as to why I think it's not worth it. Let's take a look at the worn out tools, which is the worst item in the game by far. Aside from the mechanics toolbox, which is what we're talking about now. It has 16 charges, it moderately increases repair speed, and it slightly decreases the skill tech success zones while unlocking the sabotage action. Sure, there's no, decrease in sabotage speed, but that isn't really a contributing factor, because as I previously stated, they changed the hook breaking mechanic a long time ago. Now, in the past, the worn out tools used to have 80 charges, same as the mechanics toolbox, and it stuck with everything else. Now, for the worn out tools, it slightly decreases the skill check success zones, making it easier for you to get great skill checks, meaning that there's a higher possibility of getting more juice out of your charges. Meanwhile, the mechanics toolbox only has 16 charges and considerably increases repair speed. It doesn't make it easier, there's no way to get any more usage out of the toolbox. Instead, you are basically paying for this toolbox with a little bit faster repair speed. And it's not worth it because you can't use it as long. So, we're gonna do a little bit of math on that. We're gonna look at stakeout, because stakeout ensures great skill checks, and it grants 1% bonus generator repair progress. So that'd be 16 plus 1 is 17 charges divided by what is 3,000 blood points, which would be 5.7 if we round up, meaning there's more usage in the brown toolbox. With my math all laid out, which I'm pretty sure I did correctly, if not, tell me down in the comments, the mechanics toolbox is outweighed by its less expensive counterpart. The only trade-off is it repairs slightly slower. But I would trade speed for extra charges, as would anybody who wants to get the generator done. There's no point in using a toolbox unless you get usage out of it while using it. Which is why, in my opinion, the commodious toolbox is the best toolbox. This one is worth the 5,000, because it's got the extra charges, and it increases your repair speed moderately, and it doesn't do any of the bullshit that decreases your sabotage speed. Who wants that? Not anybody who wants to do like a protection hit for Metal of Man builds. In conclusion, any other toolbox in this game is better. Even Alex's toolbox, because it increases your repair speed, increases your sabotage speed, and has a decent amount of charges. It has 24, unlike the Mechanic's toolbox, which only has 16. You can tell me if this makes sense to you in the comments, but I'm tired, and I'm gonna go stop complaining about this and get some sleep. Good night.